Well, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Dave Bullman, and I work as the Associate Principal at Normal Community High School. I thought since this is the second semester that I've had Steph, and both of those classes have been online, and she hasn't had a chance to stare at my ugly mug, I thought I would give her that opportunity before I'm finished taking classes with her. I'm going to present a little information to you about the equity audit that I conducted in my project for our class, and I thought I would tape this in my office, and over my shoulder you'll see the scheduling board that I use and spend about 6 months of my work life with, trying to create a master schedule for our students and staff at Normal Community High School. And part of the research question that I wanted to conduct with our equity audit in this class had to do with our math and science departments, who have a majority of their classes that are tracked. And I wanted to look at a couple things. I wanted to look at the levels of those courses and exactly who was teaching those courses and what level of teaching experience those teachers had who are working with base level classes, with standard level classes, and then our honors curriculum. And to incorporate some technology into that question, I wanted to take a look at how the teachers in those various departments were using Illini data as a part of their work to guide some instruction. For those of you that are not familiar with Unit 5 and Normal Community High School, our district has about 13,000 students. It's a unit district. We have 15 elementary schools, soon to be 4 middle schools, and 2 high schools. We are the larger of the 2 high schools. Normal Community has about 1,900 students, and Normal Community West has about 1,750 students. I work with about 150 teachers to develop schedules, and we have a pretty wide variety of programs that we offer, and about 70% of our students attend some type of college or university after they graduate from high school. What I looked at in terms of the data is I took a look at each of our teachers in the math and science departments, and I looked at their teaching loads, and our load is 5 classes, and we use a standard grading scale of 5 points for an A, 4 points for a B, 3 for a C, 2 for a D, and 0 for an F. And we use weighted grades, meaning that the courses, the honors courses that we have in those departments receive an extra grade point. So with the weighted classes, A's would be worth 6 points, and B's would be 5, and so forth. Our base level curriculum is the same sort of thing, except in reverse. We reduce a grade point from the base level curriculum, and so A's would receive a 4 grade points, B's 3, and so forth. The other thing that I wanted to look at was the level of teaching experience with the teachers in each of those departments, and so I simply made a graph of all the names of the teachers in those departments, the kinds of courses that they were working with, whether they were honors level, standard level, or base level. And then I created a survey for them on Illini data, and I looked at the level of comfort that each of them had when working with Illini data, and I did a Likert scale where I created a 4-point rubric for them based on their level of comfort with Illini data. That Likert scale ranged from a beginner who only used Illini data for just the mandated kinds of things that are going on in our building, such as verifying attendance or any in-service training that we would offer in our building on institute days, any of those required kinds of activities, but really weren't using Illini data for any other purpose. The intermediate users were those that would use Illini data to look up any basic student information, such as the parent contact information, phone numbers, student picture, student schedule, that kind of thing, but really not much else. The proficient user would be working with Illini data to generate some reports that would, as we learned about last week, would be created based on the various classes that each of them had, and would offer all kinds of information to them about the kinds of learners and the kinds of skills that their students had in their classes. But those proficient users would run minimal kinds of whole class reports and not done very frequently. Our advanced users would be running frequent reports and would be gathering information on their students several times a month to help guide their instruction and facilitate student learning in their classrooms. What I found as I gathered some of this data is that there was a little bit of disparity between the two departments, and the math department, much to Steph's pleasure, I'm sure, will showed that their teachers were really doing more with Illini data. There were more teachers that were proficient or advanced with their use of Illini data, and that those teachers were working with both base level curriculum and honors level curriculum. There was some diversity that the two teachers who were primarily working with base level classes were both involved in using Illini data, and they had a moderate level of teaching experience in the 15-year range of teaching. The honors level classes were also spread out among some of our teachers that had some minimal experience and some that had a great deal of experience. However, one of the teachers, actually she's the building chair, that had the most experience and was teaching a lot of honors classes, she really wasn't all that comfortable with Illini data and really did not use that to a great degree to help drive her instruction. When I looked at the results from the science department, there were some typical alignment. There was some typical alignment with years of experience and teaching base level or honors level classes, that some of our younger teachers were working with base level curriculum. Our more experienced teachers were working with honors level curriculum. We do have one teacher in his third year of total teaching, second year in the building, who is teaching both base level and honors level classes. And interestingly enough, both of those teachers that were working with base level curriculum did have some comfort with the Illini data and using data to drive instruction. However, a couple of our honors level science teachers did not have much comfort with that, although our honors level chemistry teacher is probably one of the most proficient in the building as far as using the technology of Illini data. I did develop an action plan that we're going to be putting into place for the coming school year, and it really had 4 parts to it. A couple of those parts are a continuation of efforts that were either begun earlier in the year or perhaps in the previous year. We are working with developing professional learning communities, and those communities have been started in full force this year across the district. And we have 3 separate professional learning communities in the math department, focusing on algebra, geometry, and calculus. And we have 3 professional learning communities in the science area with biology, chemistry, and physics. And so each of those professional learning communities are working to develop learning targets, common assessments, and then means to remediate students that don't meet the targets themselves. It's interesting and important then that as they continue to do their work, that those teachers are collaborative, and there is a great deal of effort being put to help teachers grow and learn, and hopefully that collaboration will be able to benefit the teachers both with experience and not having much experience with their use of Illini data. The second area that we're focusing on, which began this year, is that we are working to eliminate all of the base level classes in our math curriculum. We are beginning actually next year in implementing no Algebra Part 1 or Algebra Part 2. Instead, all of our students are going to be taking Algebra 1, and we have created a class called Focused Algebra, which students will be taking a second period of math, and it will focus on the development of skills. That is an elective class and not being given math credit for. And we have about 40 students that are going to be taking that class in a double period of math for the coming year. In the next couple of years, we hope to continue to eliminate the base level classes in geometry and Algebra 2, so that within a 3-year period we will have no base level classes in any of our math curriculums. Perhaps that will extend into our science department as well, although we haven't begun much discussion with that just yet. We also began this year to more pointedly use Illini data. Some of the things that were talked about last week with our guests from District 87, we have begun in earnest in our building as well. So we're going to really have some collective effort in our building to working with the data that's in Illini data, diving down into individual students and creating class reports, and getting all of our departments, and in particular math and science, into a level of comfort with using Illini data and developing that as a global expectation. Finally, in particular with the science department, I've worked with our building chair. He was of the mindset that teachers should have one prep. So for example, a teacher that was teaching honors chemistry, he would teach all 5 sections of that class. Teachers that were teaching some of our low-level chemistry classes would teach all of those classes. And what I worked with him on this year as we develop our science schedule, and as that gets put up on the board behind me for the coming year, we're going to diversify those assignments, and as a result get some teachers to better collaborate and probably have a better understanding of the kinds of learners that they're going to be working with across the freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior curriculums, rather than to be pigeonholed into one particular area. So we'll be working with that and implementing that for the 2011-2012 school year. It's been a very enjoyable semester, a very enjoyable project, and really one that had great practical applications for Normal Community High School, and I've learned a lot as we've done our work this semester. So for Josh and Tim especially, the Cubs stink, and we'll be cheering for the Redbirds as we move along through the summer. Thanks everybody for a great semester.